Welcome back, everybody. Today we are joined by David, who is the CEO of Sendr. Welcome, David. Why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about the exciting stuff that Sendr is doing and who you guys serve?
Thanks, Jordan. Great to be here. Great to be with you all. Sendr, which is sendr.io. We're a video outreach platform, next generation product. We do beautiful lip syncing of messages, not with clones, but with actual audio. So it sounds great. It looks great. We do this at scale in campaigns, also through a Chrome extension. So you can just whip up quick one-to-one videos on the fly. But we also do generative page experience around that. So you can create beautiful pages and actual aspects of that page continually change for that customer. So we just launched 2 weeks ago. We were working with the Financial Times, one of the major newspapers here in the UK, to do the POC. And we're getting out to market with some great, mainly SaaS teams, teams of SDRs, AEs, some lead gen hunters, everyone that's trying to find that edge to cut through in a sea of AI noise right now is sort of coming to us and looking at video again. That's who we are. So exciting times.
That's really exciting. And I was very excited to speak to you because the product is so cool. And frankly, the website that you guys have got is fantastic and everything you guys have put out so far looks amazing. What has led to the creation of Sendr and this solution?
I've been in startup scale-ups for 20 years. I started out in my mid-20s at a software company in the UK, went up to board level, took them to New York, had some fun. I was approached then by a scale-up that Google acquired. So I had a nice 18 months at Google and then went out to do quite interesting roles, a startup in the UK called Decimal Insight, that I was the foundational growth leader there. And I led partnerships at Optimizely, which was the kind of big website personalization platform in the US, and sort of built partnerships here in the UK for that. And finally, I joined a development marketplace called DZ in Bristol, and we scaled. We were the 13th fastest growing tech company over 3 years, 2019 to 2022. Came out of that a little bit tired from a lot of interesting adventures. And I worked with the Financial Times as a growth consultant on a venture they were building called Work and Grow. I'd met my co-founder, John, a couple of months prior. And in the first few months, John and I were sending out hundreds of Loom videos to HR leaders, chief people officers in finance and professional services, really hard to reach segment generally in terms of email deliverability. And we were getting brilliant results. People just responding in comments. I'd love to find out more. I'll get my EA to set up a call. That was the core thing. How do we do this whole experience, but in a way that's scalable? And I think that's the thing people have found with video before. You have to spend a lot of time getting the backdrop, getting the way you look, your appearance on point to then do that video. And if it takes you a few runs, and then you get no response from the prospect, that's the kind of pain that we're solving. So in this new approach, you do it one time and it's then there in your Chrome extensions, just on repeat, create new videos on the fly. I was sharing this with a sales leader yesterday and she was delighted. I mean, it just felt like that kind of penny drop moment. This is what I've needed. I do think video works, but I just haven't got the time to invest in it between calls and all this. That's, I guess, where we've got to in terms of the POC.
It's an insight that I've explored as well. It works fantastically for outreach, but it's just not scalable, is it? And so it seems like somehow with some magic in AI, you guys have solved that problem.
My background actually prior to this was as an audio engineer. We spent 6 months working on the audio engineering, the actual voice model, and making sure that we can drop in those singular words that are cloned and dovetail them in perfectly, and then lip sync on top of that. I'm working with the university here on our own lip sync model. That will come out soon. So we've been deep into that actual audio video experience.
Really cool. Did you say that you've just secured funding and you just sort of like launched everything 2 weeks ago? Is that right?
We closed our first funding round pre-seed last summer with Hatch and about 7 strategic angels, really interesting mix of founders who've exited and wanted to come into the journey, including the SVP International at Klaviyo, founders of Limworks, MD at Accenture. Some interesting angels came in last summer. We've spent the last 10 months building the platform and we're coming out, with the new products. We actually launched it 2 weeks ago, and we've been selected by a big marketplace to be one of their products they push in May as a feature product. Should be a pretty exciting time coming up.
Awesome. And what have been some of the biggest challenges you've faced, like getting everything all in line, securing all this funding, creating a product that's fantastic, and then finally bringing it to market? I bet the list is as long as my arm, but like, have there been any big challenges that have stuck out to you that you weren't maybe expecting?
I think so. Up until this experience, I'd come in at around seed stage or beyond. The way I'm built is just to go hard and to sell in a really nice way. I actually am not pure hunter, like I hunt, but with care. I guess that's why I've kind of built good relationships in the past. But the thing that I found was that my wiring as a sales hunter, I'm always pushing, but if the product's not ready, you're just going to land yourself up into churn and distraction for the development team. So it's been a kind of learning where to put my energy through that last 10 months as we build products. A lot of that has been into working really hard on the audio video experience and sort of channeling somewhere. But it's taken a bit of an ego hit in terms of I'm so used to just, what's the MRR target? Let me go out and get that and let's move the needle and then go again the next month. I think that's been the hardest bit, doing monthly updates, to investors, waiting to be able to go for liftoff and waiting to get into the game. And so I'm absolutely buzzed to be out there. I had 7 calls yesterday. It's great to be in the game now. There's an ego hit as a founder that takes a bit of getting used to.
That makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you guys are AI first. You're doing some pretty remarkable stuff with AI. Where do you see AI going over the next, let's call it 6 to 12 months? Are there any interesting features that are planned on Sendr's roadmap using any of those things that maybe are in development?
I guess in the space we operate in, which is outreach and sales, my sense has been a bit of a race to the bottom in terms of experience. If you're a major brand and everyone's creating AI copies for emails, I don't think anyone's quite cracked it, that it doesn't potentially reflect badly on your brand. You can go that way to try and get email deliverability, but then I think it potentially doesn't position your brand that well. We've come up with a different approach to that and talk people through the type of campaigns that we run and how we get good deliverability, but then land that high brand experience. Trends for AI. One of the things that we're looking at, we've built in some interesting Clay-like data features. You can do things like personality profiling of contacts at scale. We want to actually build in a piece where entire experiences, copy and everything on the page adjusts based on the personality profile of that contact, but with the initial copy that you've actually generated already in place. I think our main push, though, is to always enable humans. I mean, that's the big vision we have at Sendr, is that we enable sales humans to go out and do better jobs. We think that overhype of 11x and, AI is going to replace your entire sales team is over. I think I'm sold into a lot of senior buyers, and I don't think any senior buyer out there that I've met wants to be sold to by a robot anytime soon. I think for us, we position ourselves, let's make salespeople go out and do an even better job. Let's help them be even more efficient. Let's help them have even more meetings and go out there and meet people. So that's the kind of positioning that we've got, Jill.
Makes a lot of sense. And how are you guys currently acquiring customers? How do people know that you guys exist?
We're running our own campaigns. We run campaigns in Instantly. It's a kind of modern infrastructure. Our roster of burner domains and emails set up to be running with a low send volume per day. We tend to run with a bit of a lead magnet. So the first email is plain text, get into the inbox, respond yes to receive lead magnet. Second email, then you get that rich text experience where the video comes into play. That's how we're booking meetings. We've got a great throughput of platform signups and meeting bookings. And one of our partners, a guy called Amin, who runs Growth A, designed that process, and he's running a growth accelerator for any customers that would send them next month, just to be able to replicate that entire process. It's using the Sendr platform and Instantly to deliver super high deliverability, but well personalized campaigns into prospects. So we use our own product, and then I've got a network of sales leaders and revenue leaders from different places that I've worked to get into those organizations.
The main goal is to get Sendr into as many hands as possible and grow as quickly as you can and have fantastic user experiences. Do you have any aggressive targets over the next 12 months or any rollouts of some initiatives that maybe you could share? Obviously, if you want to keep it close to your chest, that's completely fine. But
aggressive scaling is definitely part of the plan. We, as I said, secured a launch in a major marketplace to be one of the main products they push in May. That'll form a big part of it. And then off the back of that, to then be able to launch another marketplace that people would have known. So yeah, off the back of that, to then launch a product hunt and get high visibility as a product of the day would be the strategy. Kind of 1-2 into early user traction. Yeah, we've kind of got a bottom-up, top-down approach where we're filling the lead funnel with salespeople, people at the coalface, lead gen people, but also top-down, both product-led growth and sales-led growth. My role as CEO, going into larger agencies, larger companies, some of the big 6, and looking to get into some big partnership deals, but then flow down through the organization. I think some of the things you can chase after vanity growth as a startup. You want to make sure that you've got that initial user traction to get your feedback and to build from, but also those kind of larger scale enterprise deals that generate really solid long-term recurring revenue.
Fantastic plan. I know it's maybe a little bit too early, but if you were to maybe go back to the beginning of the inception of Sendr, are there any things that you might change now that you have the gift of hindsight and you've kind of gone through all of the stuff to get where you are now?
I don't know if you can ever shortcut. The kind of wow moment that we've landed up is that Chrome extension. You've recorded a video, you've built your page experience, and to go in and in 3 clicks, it generates the video, the page, the GIF straight into an email. So that is a unique thing that has people really excited. We got there by a lot of iterations of the product. We still support video outreach at scale, and that definitely we've been using it ourselves. But that for a salesperson to have that immediate value and that immediate time saving of not recording and yet another video is really exciting. But I think you almost have to accept the pain and the learnings and the user frustration, all that kind of stuff along the way to get to that place of where innovation takes you to something that's really on the bleeding edge. It's definitely shortcutted a lot of sleepless nights, but I think that's always part of the journey.
For sure. Then I guess then finally, David, if you had a magic wand and let's say you could wave it over a big problem, whether that's within Sendr or it's within maybe the space or the industry or even AI, and you could solve it just like that, what would that big problem be right now?
I mean, I could go deep into solving some of society's problems. So I don't know, Jordan. I go quite broad.
How about anything within Sendr that you wish you could solve right now so you could deliver a better experience for customers, or you could grow faster or anything like that?
I mean, we've got data integrations on the roadmap. I would love to have a whole roster of data integrations that allow us to pull in all the sort of sources that you want to use to further curate those really unique page experiences for brands, like a whole range of e-commerce data for our e-commerce clients and all that kind of stuff. So that's on the roadmap a bit further along, but we want to get there as well.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing that. I really appreciate the time today and insights. Like I said at the beginning, this is something I was really looking forward to because I think what you guys are doing is pretty fantastic. I've never seen it before. It's always exciting to speak to people who are doing cool stuff and they're innovating with AI and they're creating something that isn't just ChatGPT wrapper, but it's actually something very innovative. So applaud you and the team at Sendr. If people are listening and maybe they want to check you guys out or they want to connect and they want to try out Sendr for themselves, where can they go and how can they connect?
And come on in to check us out on LinkedIn. We're really active there, so they can just ping me a DM. We can arrange a POC if there's a proof of concept people want to run for themselves. Or head on to our platform. You can jump in right now. You can set up a free trial. Sendr, SENDR.io. Jump on in, create your page, download the Chrome extension. And we're launching the kind of lip sync video sort of second week of May. People want to come in around then and they'll be able to grab that and jump on board.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I highly encourage everybody to go check you guys out. I'll leave links in the description if anyone's watching and wants to go check it out themselves. But thank you again, David. And thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you in the next podcast.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jordan. Take care, guys.